here today doing the Phel Me podcast. It's hashtag you see Phel Me, and we're here with Javi Luna, the comedian. Now, we've had like a good conversation that we're gonna try to bring into this because that was like really good
Just
stuff.
waste some content.
I know I should have been recording that time.
Save it for the podcast. She actually
Oh,
slapped me at one point. Luckily, the
right.
cameras weren't rolling.
They weren't rolling.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. No, I welcomed it. Some men have to pay for it. I just do podcasts and get abused.
Yeah, and do comedy and
Yeah,
hope to get views later.
that's what I do. Yell at me. That's why I put clips on YouTube. Also, I like the abuse.
Yeah, right. You're like
Yeah,
you ask for
just a bunch of
attention.
fucking trolls on there, aren't they?
Really, they're
Yeah, that's what they live for. Like I don't even get mad anymore. I feel sorry for you.
the haters.
They just hate comment all day. It's like
They have nothing better.
this is your existence. This is what you do with
Yeah.
your free time.
Yeah, it's because most of those people like don't have like legitimate goals
Right.
or aspirations.
Yeah.
They're at home like no like offense to all the welfare people, but like on some
Yeah,
sort of
whatever
you know what I mean? And so it's kind of like if you don't have
have free time. I
just have no free time on my hands.
I just feel like a normal, rational person. If I see something and I don't like it,
move on.
I move on. Like, let me comment and tell this person how much I don't like this.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
Yeah.
I just move on. But I have a lot of haters every day in my inbox. Yeah. Especially with the pictures I just posted on Facebook for the photographer.
You got hate on those?
Yeah, apparently I'm
What?
slutty and I'm whorish and
I saw the pictures.
yeah. They asked if I
Those are like super like
classy,
and classy.
and
those are
romantic
like,
and
not
50
at all. I saw them. I was like, these are beautiful.
No, and they're like, your boys must be proud of you. You know, I didn't like that and I'm like, and it's just delete.
Yeah. Everyone's got an opinion on
But
everything.
I did tell you I was having that shoot because we were gonna meet and things, and I told you like it was gonna be a risky, and I wanted it to have a statement.
Well, that was the whole point, right? Of getting
and
couples to
to do it.
Like
Each other's 50 Shades of Grey.
like a
Boudoir, her photographer, Francine.
It's a thing. I can see, for your own personal collection, for your own.
I mean, me and Claire are both moms.
No, but y'all are doing it to promote
her business,
the service that she offers, right? But I'm saying, like people, like if you take those pictures, you don't have to post them on Facebook.
Yeah, they're for you to
keep them
have with your partner.
On your phone in your secure folder, thumbprint to access.
Apparently, I put those out there just to be a hoochie.
Oh, well, haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
So tell me, you went out of town for a gig.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I do that. I do that from time to time.
Yeah. No, not time to time. As much as we can. But it was freaking cold. How was the crowd?
Oh, it's great. So I'm usually on the road with a bigger comedian, touring with him, and we do these huge shows. That tour doesn't start till February of this year. So right now I'm literally just doing time. I'm taking gigs wherever. So like next week I'll be in Webster, Texas. Where the fuck is Webster, Texas? Is right outside of Houston.
Okay.
But it's not in Houston, so I can't say Houston. So I took these gigs with a friend of mine, Daryl Felsberg, up in Durant, Oklahoma, and in Trenton, Texas. Right, way about 8 hours north of here.
And it was around the freeze.
And it was right before the freeze. The freeze was already there. So it was when I got up there. I got up there Friday afternoon, and it was 30 degrees already.
Yeah.
Yeah. To make it even more fun, I slept in my car on that trip, which I don't always do. Like I said, it's just doing time.
I'm all wait.
I slept in my car. I've been doing comedy for 13 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've driven literally all over the country. I've slept in my car many times. It's been many years since I've had to do that because now I'm fortunate enough that usually there's a hotel attached to it or whatever. So this particular gig, I wasn't headlining. I was featuring for two other pros from the area. I was just trying to get some work. Before the tour starts, shake off some. I've been most of the month of December. I'm home and I do private parties and corporate gigs and while those are fun, you pick up a lot of bad habits because it's more about engaging with people,
and toning it down for the crowd.
toning it down for the crowd.
And
So
you can't really do
yeah,
new content.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
You're
Gotcha.
doing the tried and true because they're paying a lot for you to entertain them. So this is kind of fun. Like, oh, let me go try out some new material, have some fun, work with some really heavy hitters that I respect, and kind of chop it up, get to catch up with them. And they were nice enough. He even sweetened the pot a little bit and gave me a little extra than he would normally pay another feature, which I was thankful for. But I'm a cheapskate. I got like we were talking about before. My all my money goes to my 3 kids,
Yeah.
wife, and some of it goes to my ex-wife, and I got responsibilities. I'm like Tommy Pickles.
3 kids. We
So
have that.
so I'll save money wherever I can.
Yeah.
So my original plan was there was a casino out there in Durant. So the guy told me, he goes, "There's no hotel, but I'll give you a little extra money." I was like, "That's fine. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go chill at the casino
All night.
I like to gamble. I'll play whatever. I'll take a nap there in one of the chairs there. Whatever. I'll get a hotel the next night, and then that way I'll save one night on a hotel. I'll just chill at the casino. I got to the casino and they were hosting the World Series of Poker there.
The televised.
Yeah. So it was packed with high rollers. So I like to play blackjack. But all the minimums were like $25 a head. And I'm like, I'm not. That's not me.
Yeah, just me. I'm trying to cut corners already.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, because I was like, because with blackjack, I mean, $100 you can play if you know what you're doing. You can play. You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. You can play a few hours. Take a
I
break.
don't gamble.
Oh yeah, okay, but so I was like, as I put so I put a little bit into slot machines, and that's doesn't work. Like $100
It
in a
doesn't
slot
last.
machine doesn't
Yeah.
last. Like you can blow through that quick. So I was like, huh. Well, I'm not gonna do this all night. So I ended up going to a Lowe's truck stop, and I'm not gonna shit you. Somehow, but by the grace of God, I had probably one of the best night's sleep I've had in a long
In your
time. So yeah, when I say it's cold, so when I got back and my wife was complaining about the weather, I was like, hey, nah, this is fine, man. I slept in a car at 30 degrees. Like you feel like when you're on the road and you're roughing it, and you get back, you feel like you can damn near do
anything. Like, don't even complain.
Yeah, don't
You're
complain about
inside.
this. Yeah.
Monitoring your own temperature.
Yeah, exactly. So you had the Nest. You were over there on your phone.
So you're roughing it, and you were by yourself.
I was by myself. Yeah, that road dog shit. Real road dog
Yeah,
shit.
dude, I have a
Yeah.
hard time doing things like completely by myself. Besides, like being at
Got
work
to.
at the studio.
You got to being a guy.
But
As nice as it is, some of the younger comics, it's fun to take a road trip with your buddies. Most of the time, real life, it's not like that. Until you get to a certain point where it's like you're calling the shots. Like even like I'm talking to like I went out to Colorado. I headlined a comedy festival out there September of last year. They already wanted me back out there to hit up Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico to
you get tour.
do a little tour out there with those guys. That means they're gonna fly me out there. They're gonna pick me up in the airport and drive me around. I don't get to take anybody from here with me. It would be great, like my buddy Ralph Barboza. He blew up. Now he can afford to. Hey, I know I'm bringing so and so with me, but the thing is, as a headliner, when you do that, you're footing the bill for those. Okay, you want them? Well, you're paying
coming out of what
you're paying for their
you,
hotel.
yeah.
You're paying for their flight. We're not paying for it.
Yeah.
We don't want them. We got people here that can do it. Very similar, and it's nice when you can do it. That's how I managed to make a good part of my living. Chingo Bling values what I bring to his show enough where he doesn't.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your hotel. I'll pay for your flight. I'll pay you more than what the club pays so that you can be here. But I ain't there yet. So it's a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. Yeah.
We're working towards it. 2024.
2024.
Hello?
2023 was I don't want to call it a rebuilding year for me, but I was a hired gun for so long. Like I said, opening, writing for other larger acts, and so 2023 is when I put out my special and started trying to promote myself as a brand, as a headliner more. So 2024, we're just continuing with that,
Yeah.
trying to solidify myself a little more, like, oh, he's all
Yeah.
on his own, So
I love that.
people just
Yeah.
gotta get used to seeing you like that.
Well, yeah, and I've seen you a couple of times, and then you are like in the community, especially the comedy community, but you get out there and you support other comics and
Yeah, as
you
much as I
put, so
can.
you have a show coming up though.
I do. When does this come out? Like immediately,
So I'm gonna
how do you
probably
do
put
this?
this out by Sunday.
Okay. Well, if it comes out Sunday, they missed
That's they missed
they
it, yeah.
missed the
But
show.
you can still talk
But
about who's
yeah,
coming down for it because, like,
yeah,
you have a
absolutely.
San Antonio female. I
Hmm.
got to meet Devin.
Devin Benish
Yeah,
is on the
once,
show. So yeah,
and
so
she was
she's great.
yeah, yeah.
I'm producing a show. If this comes out Sunday, it just happened last night. Called Tag Your Bit. It's a showcase type show, which I'm excited about because I don't do that very often anymore. Showcases are something you do very first few handful of years as comics. It's really just about getting your name out there, being seen by other comics,
So they come out for like 5 minutes or
producers.
something,
They're
or
just doing like 10 minutes.
okay.
Yeah, and some are 5 minutes, some are 10.
Mhm.
10 is usually the norm, right? 10 to 15. Um, so I don't produce a lot of shows like that. Usually I produce two shows here a year where it's myself headlining, and then with whatever headliners come through that request me or that I work with, I'll do their shows. Other than that, I don't do too much local stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a slow start to the year,
Mhm.
so I was like, okay, well, you gotta work, you just gotta pay bills. So I was like, what can I do? I was like, and thankfully, Mesquite Street Comedy Club just recently decided to start doing shows in their downtown location. That's one of the rooms where I didn't get my start there, but I definitely got a lot of growth there. I worked for them for a handful of years. I used to show run for them and
Do like a Thursday
a
conference.
Thursday comedy open mic. Currently, it's the longest running open mic they have there. And they years ago, many years ago now, they completely gutted and turned their upstairs room into a comedy room. And it only seats maybe about 70, 80 people, and it's super intimate, and it's so great for comedy. All the New York comics that come through, that used to come through, loved that space because it made them feel, it felt like a really low, dark, comedy belongs in a dark
Oh
room
yeah, like
with low
Seinfeld.
ceilings, and now
Yeah.
everything's kind of transferred to these like big theaters and
Arenas,
arenas.
and yeah.
Even most comedy clubs in a strip mall like an improv is going to seat anywhere from 300 to 400 seats. That's great for somebody that comes through, but it loses something
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
intimacy.
Well,
So
yes. I mean, you can't see all the 300 people there. You only see the two
yeah, you can only
rows.
see the first two.
Yeah.
And I've performed in many theaters. I was on a theater tour for years, and it's fun too. Like I said, it's not knocking that at all.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
There's something about that just that earthiness of just the fact that I can see,
And the
and I can see the
intimacy.
back of the
Yeah.
room, I can see the front of the room,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited that they started producing shows there. So I was like, reached out to the owner, Brandon Gonzalez, said, hey, let me put a show together. I just headlined in November, so I'm like, I don't want people to get tired of me. I have some new stuff, but I don't have a whole new hour in 2 months. It's
Hmm.
just not the way it works. And I'm not the type of guy where I'm not going to go up there and just riff and
Yeah.
make you listen to an hour of me crowd work. Hey, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
That gets old.
Yeah.
You can do that for a little bit. To go here an hour of that,
Yeah. Yeah.
no
Yeah.
one wants to hear.
No, yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
so I put the show together, and I said, I don't get to work a lot of local regional comics too often. So I said, or get to see a lot of them as
Hmm.
much as I would. So I reached out and had them send me some clips and sifted through, and uh my wife has really kind of, her comedic eye has developed over the years as she's gotten to see me work and seen the people I work with. She knows what I look for. So she helped me sift through everyone's clips and videos, and you know we're in a landscape now where I do feel like women comedians are finally getting the opportunities that they've long deserved.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see that.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I was like, I definitely, out of all these, right or wrong, I want to at least have a couple female comics, if we can make sure that watch their videos once or
Yeah, yeah,
twice
yeah,
to
yeah.
make something there. I like my shows to be a certain quality. It's just the way I do things. I value my audience's dollar.
Yeah.
I know how much things cost. I'm a family man myself. You know, so if you're gonna pay $20 for a ticket and you had to get a babysitter and
Yeah,
there's
and
a
you gotta
two
pay your
drink
babysitter
and
too.
there's a 2 drink minimum, I want to give you your dollar's worth.
Yeah.
Which means I'm not gonna put anybody on the show that I don't feel
Passionate about.
will give
Yeah.
you your money's
Yeah,
worth.
yeah.
So I hand selected these comics, and on top of that, so that I can give some comics that maybe aren't as seasoned, which means you're just, to me, what that means is just your consistency. The difference between a pro and a newbie, everyone can be funny.
Yeah.
Anybody can kill on any given night. It- more or less, right? But
I know what you're saying.
difference between a pro and an
An
amateur,
amateur, yeah.
it really is that consistency.
Yeah.
A pro shouldn't get up there and eat a dick the whole time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should know how to pull it up to where at least it's like, okay, well, like he did make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like it was okay. So this one's different because I'm gonna be on stage the whole time. So I got Devin Benish coming,
Hmm.
Jeremy Brown from San Antonio, and then I got 3 comics here from Corpus, which, like I said, unfortunately I don't get to work with them as often as I would like. So I'm very happy about that. I got Miguelito, I believe, yeah, and Ana Ramirez, unfortunately, is not able to make this show after all. So I got Tina Garza, was very gracious enough to
Tina Lucucina?
Tina La Cochina is gracious enough to step in and fill her shoes, and another New York comic, Christian Longoria, he's been doing a lot of spots with my buddy Mario Salazar. He did a guest spot on my show recently in November, and he's doing good. And he's got a lot of familial support here in the area. And the way this show is going to work, it's called Tag Your Bit,
Hmm.
and I'm going to be on stage with him. It's an interruption style show, something that was very popular. It was a gimmick that was popular when I started comedy uh, over a decade ago. Doug Benson made it popular, and he called it the Benson interruption. And what it is, it's where there's an established comic on stage that will interrupt you while you're in the middle of your set. He would do it more of almost like a sabotaging type way.
Like mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like try.
But this is more of like a comedy, like war.
No, this is more. It's called tag your bit, which in comedy we use the term tagging. Tagging is when you add anything onto a punchline. You already finished a joke. This is the punchline. This is the payoff, and then you add something to it that gets that extra little laugh. That's a tag.
Okay.
Unfortunately, off the top of my head, I don't have a great example of it, but it's just anything you add after the punchline. That's a tag. You're tagging it up, and so it just keeps that laugh
Going.
rolling, right?
Okay.
So this is called tag your bit. So the idea behind this is I'm not trying to sabotage anyone's bit. I try to do it but I am going to interrupt you if I have something to add to your joke. Like,
Mhm.
hell, oh, I would say this here. I would,
Yeah.
and it kind of helps the younger comics. Like I said, a lot of my bread and butter in comedy has come from writing for a lot of bigger comics. That's what in the comedy circuit, that's what I'm known for. And I don't get to write with a lot of younger comics like I like I would, love to, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
time is a commodity, so this kind of allows me to do that, like to and for them, if it means something, they get to say it. Well, I had a joke that I got to workshop with Javi.
Yeah.
That's a
You get to like
a
bridge
point
a
of pride
little
for something.
generational
Yeah,
gap
yeah,
too from
absolutely.
like because I know Megalito's young.
Oh, young in the game.
Yeah,
He's open for me, here and
but
there,
he's
and
still
I
like a
got to take
college
on the road.
student,
Still a
young.
college
Yeah,
student,
and then we're like
young.
parents of three, like
Yeah, no, definitely.
working on
Yeah,
40.
and just the
But
experience. Yeah.
for y'all to be able to work together, that like because generations are different.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
comedy still stays
generations
collective.
different, and comedy for the long time, and I feel like it's kind of. I don't want to say it's dying, but it's not as prevalent. When I started, comedy was it was very much of a almost like an apprenticeship type industry,
Mhm.
right? you started off in the open mics. You did the open mics. If you were lucky enough, a local headliner
We want you to be on
saw
the
you, liked you. Hey, I need somebody to open for me. Come host this show, and that's really where you start to develop on the road, right? Open mics are great for just trying out a new bit, but really to get your seasoning, it's the road, it's the forming in different audiences, understanding what works locally, what works elsewhere.
yeah,
Reading a room when it's open mic and it's the same people that come to open mic every week. Like they kind of know what to expect. Like I said,
yeah.
it's great for workshopping bits, but for really developing yourself as a comic, there's no replacement for the road. The unfortunate part for me is when I started that there was no scene like that. There was no
There was
one
no
to
one doing
take.
it out.
There was no one to take me.
Yeah.
There was no local headliner.
About it.
When I started,
You
so
are the local headliner that gets people on get like right.
I try. I wish I could. Like I said, I wish I could do it more, but I try
Yeah,
to do it as often as
like in the Corpus
as I can.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Look
there
at
you go.
you putting your staple on shit.
And
Ah,
do what we can.
I like that. I like that. Like, and you're motivational with everyone. And like we spoke earlier, you stay out of all the tea, all the gossip, all the drama. You're in it for the community. You're in it for your audience because you laugh. That's endorphins. We just talked about cortisol.
Yeah.
So if you have a stress hormone, what
No,
contradicts
absolutely.
that is laughter.
No, absolutely. I do get stressed. I do get stressed out.
So
I
when you
do
come,
get stressed out very
people
easily,
need to come to comedy and laugh.
and that's by design.
Yeah.
I stay out of the scene so that I can be a positive presence when needed.
Mhm.
Because if I was out there every night and I'm hanging out with them and drinking with them and getting high with them, then you end up getting caught
Yep.
in the drama too, right?
Mhm.
Or Javi likes so and so more than he likes so and so.
Yeah, or they,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
So
can
I
see
kind of
that.
stay a healthy distance, and I support
But yeah, you're on
as
all
as
teams.
much as I
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm rooting for
Because it's the
everybody. I don't want.
community.
Yeah,
At the end of the
I'm
day,
not helping for
you're not
anyone to fail.
competing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, comics sometimes some are better at understanding it than others. Not everyone, you know, not everyone can be in every show.
Yeah.
Not everyone can work every room.
Yeah.
It's just there's only so many spots to
Yeah.
go around, and don't don't do yourself the disservice of taking that personally.
Right.
Get put on a show or so and so's not working. It's just focus on who does want you, not.
That makes total sense. So, what would you tell a new comic that's like at home and always in the mirror? Like, I'm funny as shit. My friends say I'm funny. My family says I'm funny. But to give them that to come to an open mic and just challenge themselves, like
Sure.
what would be your words of wisdom to be like? Just I would be like, get your ass out there. But
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't
I'm
call it
funny and I can't do it.
wisdom, and I think sometimes people, when I do tell them this, they they think it's you blowing them off, but it really is. It's as simple as go do it. Go do it. If you think you're funny, if you think you can do better, if you think whatever it is you think, you're not gonna find out unless you get up there. And I'm not talking about one time. I'm not even talking about 2 times or 10 times or 20 times. Like you and you'll find out if you get up there and you kill and you get addicted and you want to do it again. That's great.
Yeah.
Keep going. If you, but to me, is you won't know if you really love this until you get your first really good kick in the nuts, whether you got them or not. Until you get that first good bomb.
Yeah.
If you bomb, and
And you keep going after that.
relative bombing is relative. Okay, if just the worst set you ever have, you're like, man, I did great the first 5 times, and this sixth time, just no one laughed. I don't know if I did the joke too often or whatever. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Um, if you when you get off that stage, you're gonna feel one or two ways. I want to crawl into a hole and never do this
Or I'm
again,
just gonna kill it again.
or I can't wait to get
Kill
back
it
up
again.
there again. And if you're the latter, then then keep going.
Yeah.
Because you got what it takes. Because man, there's so many things in this business that will knock you down. It'll knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah.
It absolutely will. It'll
Especially the roasting.
yeah, the roasting. Well, just the business of it, right?
Yeah.
Never getting to where you're almost never gonna be where you feel like you should be, right? It's just it's a rat race, like anything else,
Yeah.
right? And there's going to be losses, and there's going to be gigs lost and opportunities lost, and I was supposed to get that, but I didn't get that, and so got this, and you'll question yourself, and there'll be bad shows, and there'll be sleeping in your car, and you, man, I could be making so much money if I just did this instead of out here doing this, and lost relationships, and
Yeah, but
and
it's part of the American dream
yeah,
that we get to follow our dreams. And
so you just gotta kind of like, I want to say, I guess, fortify yourself, strengthen yourself, because
get some
it's
tough skin.
yeah, you really gotta toughen up
Yeah.
a little bit. You can't, it's not for the weak out there.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Because I've been just in the comedy scene a little bit, and then COVID hit, and then came back a little bit.
Mhm.
I kind of pulled myself kind of away from that because I'm working with nonprofits and things now. Um, but I have the opportunity to work with a lot of like pretty cool local people,
Yeah.
and they gave me as much experience as I think I gave them. But I will tell you that just traveling and hearing other comics, like when I went with Blake, um, when we were in New York, like our comedy here is so much more collectively funny than there. And
Ah,
it's so conservative there. Like they watch their language. They don't say things vulgarly.
right.
And so when Blake and them got up there and said their jokes and just came hard, people were like, and then they were laughing, and it was like, okay, like you could totally see the demographics, and that made me so proud of what y'all have going on here.
Yeah.
Because like the laughs were way more for the Texans than they were for the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
the comedy
it's
is
definitely
different.
different, and there's a reason for that, right? Because in those more established scenes, because this is a baby scene, like it's just what it is, and that's not a bad thing necessarily.
No. Yeah.
Tell you, as someone that came up in a virtually non-existent scene,
Yeah.
that's a good thing because more money, more problems, more comics, more problems, man. When you go to a scene like Austin or Dallas or Chicago or New York, and there's literally 1,000 comedians and 950 of them suck.
Yeah.
It's used to rise
Yeah.
to the top, or at least to the middle
I
of
think
it.
we had a better turnout in Atlantic City with like us like meshing better with those comics.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's just a drive, right, from
Yeah.
one to the other, but we're funnier here in this area, in the South area,
Mhm.
and that it's raw and uncensored.
Yeah.
Because I hate censored comedy
Yeah, and then unfortunately,
personally.
there's a reason for that. Like I said, in scenes like that, because usually those larger scenes like that, there's a club that they're trying to get into, and a lot of clubs, if you're starting off host level
Yeah.
or even featured level, you don't get to work as raw as you want.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's the law because
I just like how they just came in and did it.
yeah,
Though.
yeah, but they're trying they're performing not just for the audience, they're performing for that booker, that comic, the comic that books the opening acts. That's also in the back of the room.
Yeah.
That local headliner that has some pull to get you in with the club, so you can open
Yeah.
for whoever's coming through town.
Uh-huh.
You don't, as an opener, it is important to learn how to, when you're starting off, to know how to work clean. Just this past weekend, even though I know the guy, he knows my show. He's like, hey, look, man, it's a new room. We're in Trenton, Texas. If we can keep it a soft R, I would appreciate it. We're not, because we don't know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if you go in there and you don't know how to clean it up and still be funny, well, what did you do? You just killed a gig.
Yeah.
That's for you. for the other 20 comics that could have done that room for the next year.
Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
So there is something to say with being able to censor yourself and still be funny. It is a tool that you should have. Even though I consider a lot of people consider myself on the rawer side. I'm not against knowing how to
Or
work,
how to clean it up.
how
Yeah.
to clean it up. So those comics, it's not so much that those comics don't want to be loose, but they're trying to get their foot in the door elsewhere, which is why you probably find like that. Now here, because for whatever it is, I was the only game in town for so long, and I kind of did what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it,
Yeah.
and the club was brand new, and they didn't know any better. And I was funny enough that the headliners didn't really mind so much. Every now and then I get somebody that asks me to clean it up,
Yeah.
whatever, but for the most part, it's just
You have good content.
you have good content. They don't mind. It's not as big, but in the larger cities, in the major clubs, as an opener, which that's the first job you get.
Yeah.
Even though now, can you jump a few steps by getting a viral TikTok or getting on Kill Tony? Sure. But that's not the bulk. That's still not the bulk of it. You still got to come up through the rungs like everybody else.
Yeah.
And your first job in comedy is going to be host. And it, your job as host is definitely not to walk anybody.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And I've been on shows where well, not a podcast. I was doing a live with somebody, and he was asking me about the smallest show I've ever done. And I was telling him, I was like, I did a show down in McAllen, Texas, and it was a Wednesday night show. So it was a Groupon night. Everybody that was there got a Groupon, and they had way too many comics on the lineup, and a bunch of open micers. They went up there, did whatever their dark humor was they wanted to do, and ended up walking 11 of those 12 people. So I went up in a 400-seat venue to one person and like the six other comics that were on
Wow.
on the show, and I had to do my entire show because I was down there to headline and make my money. And if I don't perform, I don't get my money. So I was like, guess what? His name was Noe. He's still a follower of mine to this day.
Shout out to Noe.
Shout out Noe. I told Noe, you're gonna get these 45 minutes of jokes tonight. These are for you, Noe. And I told him, I was like, and someday, I don't know when, Noe. They have, I think down there, I think it's State Farm Arena or whatever. They got a little arena down there that they got a basketball team that plays. I go, someday, Noe, I'm gonna do the State Farm Arena, and you're gonna be front row whenever.
Right, I'm not
whenever
gonna
because you sat here for these 45 minutes of jokes solo. So so it's one of those things. You can't you can't when you're an opener, it's not your show. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
When it's your show, do everything you want to do. But your job's to warm up that crowd. That's
amp them up.
That's
the main event.
and the trade off is that you're going to get a little bit of money, and you're going to get some
good
experience, and and if you're lucky, you'll pick up some fans too.
Yeah.
That's the trade.
So what do you have coming up?
So like I said, this week in Tag Your Bit, next week, January 26th, I'll be in Webster, Texas at the Saloon Door. Check those out. Everything's on my link tree.
We'll put all your tags.
That has it. And then I will be back in Houston. Trying my memory. February 20th through the 23rd, I believe. Double check that. That'll be at the Houston Improv. With Chingo Bling. I also got geez, do I have my phone with everything? Check definitely Javi Luna comedy.
Yeah, we'll definitely put
Del Rio, Texas coming up on there. El Paso, Texas coming up on there. Working on in Casper, Wyoming, Denver, Colorado, Albuquerque, New Mexico, as well. Getting the year started, and I'm also working on some other things. And another can't tell you too much, but me and another Texas headliner, we're gonna join forces. I'm trying to be more collaborative this year with some of the other heavy hitters in Texas. We're talking about putting together a little Texas tour together with me and him. So definitely if you haven't already, stay tuned for that. If you don't, now's the
Jump
time
on
to
the
jump on
bandwagon.
board
Yeah.
and see what we got. And hopefully this tag your bit takes off and I'll start producing those whenever I can't commit to a monthly, unfortunately, because my schedule is just so like I'm gonna be on the road pretty much the whole month of April. Um, so I can't commit to that
Yeah.
to a monthly thing all the time, but I'll
Or at least
keep
a
on the schedule.
quarterly, once a
Yeah,
quarter.
something like
Get 4
that.
shows in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Do you have any shout outs?
Just shout out to like always, like I said, shout out to the whole little corporate scene, man. Y'all are doing great. Keep doing what y'all doing and stay out of the drama as much as you can, man.
Like just support each
Because
other at
there's
this
no
point.
place
Like
there's no
we're
place for drama in comedy,
all on
man.
the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just stay out of each other's way. It's
Yeah.
okay if you don't like somebody.
Yeah.
You don't all have to work together.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay. All right.
It's gonna be
Three little birds said every little thing's gonna be all right. Just keep writing.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little shout out real quick to my sponsors. 361 Blues Radio, Mario Hamburg, goes in with me in this spot and helps with collective stuff. I do their social media. Also, Bat Tats Tattoo Bill, thank you very much. Juan from Fine Line, I'm glad you're recovering and doing well, man. Thank you so much for all your support. Also, Joe from Icon Technology. Thank you again for all your support and starting my podcast back in the day. And I want to give a shout out also to Raphael Murphy, fighter down in the valley, doing good things. He's been on my podcast. Going to be doing some of my meal preps and stuff again, and he's just awesome, and he needs a lot of support to keep his title going, and he has the belt, and so
he's got the belt.
we're about that.
Right on. Rafael.
Go
rap.
right.
Go rap.
And I also just a good like a huge shout out to Francine with the boudoir photo shoot that I just did.
Tasteful, not
It's so classy and
trashy
tasteful
at
and
all.
Valentine's-y and a 50 Shades of Grey that you could do with any of your people, like any person that if your interest, you know what I mean? Because you could do the photo shoot we did with 2 women too, or 2 guys, or multiples, whatever.
Even what's your
Clay?
Oh, well, I was like, why are you looking at me like that, bro? We had them eyes like, stop.
Like completely.
He was like making me blush and shit. I was like, boy, stop looking at me like that.
Those eyes,
eyes, bro.
No, like
eyes,
and like we had that conversation, and I told him I was like, dude, like people were probably wondering like how like you were so like collective in all of everything.
Yeah,
with me like
concentrate
all sorts of naked with water and chicks and
okay, well, we're gonna get out. Everybody needs to leave the room right now. It's just like
but yeah, so Francine, Black Room Photography and Boudoir, amazing. You can do it by yourself, you can do it with your friends, whatever. I don't even know every situation. I got to do it with Clay. He's a male model, a really important person to me. So we got to take things, yeah,
and have fun,
and have fun. And now we can promote her, and people can see like, you know, it could go either way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I really appreciate that, and Clay. Mwah, thank you for holding it down.
Me too, Clay.
Your new crush,
Clay.
Man crush.
I got it on my phone. My new wallpaper, bro.
I love that. All right. Well, this has been great. I was like, we're only going to go into 30 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Did we go?
I don't even care. I fucking love it.
A little extra.
So good. No, and you came all the way out here, and we got time till we got to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you, like, having my back, like through like all of like since day one we met, and you did Mr. Wendell's podcast to now, and we're gonna support each other, collab. I think we should do like really cool skits that are really funny in the public and get those reactions.
Yeah, well,
because I think like you
I'm down
do
to
some
just
funny shit,
create some stuff, yeah.
Right? And I got all this equipment to do it now, and so
I'm fixing to be your neighbor, man. This is
pretty cool, right?
I like this. I've been looking for something for a long time.
And then this is
I got green screens and stuff at home where I used to do more skits and stuff, and I used to have a little group where I would do skits and it's hard when you're working out of the house. Like I said, my family lives there too. It's a home, not a place.
Yeah.
To be able to say like, "Hey, I need the living room. No one come.
Or
No guys
just
come."
stop.
So I'm doing a
Yeah.
like even my little 5-year-old. I feel bad. She'll walk in. If I'm sitting at my desk, she's like, "A podcast." Like, I'm like, no, I'm just sitting at my desk. Like she's like, oh. Like my oldest, like he's real good. Like 'cause he grew up. I started doing comedy when he was 4 years old. And so he came up in it. So he'll get the little ones and he'll clear them out of the living room like that. Dad's shooting something. Get out of the living room. Like
Yeah.
I hate putting them to that. So for a long time I'm like I just need to get some
No,
space.
yeah,
I need
no,
to get some
everything
space where
you
I can
just
go
said
create. Yeah.
is why I am here.
Yeah.
Because when I first, got separated, I was working out of my house, and it was one of those things like I could not shut my brain off because then it's like I can cook something right now. I can go clean. I need to organize this. We're unpacking and blah blah blah, and then I
Hmm.
couldn't like
Yeah,
focus.
and my wife's so great. Like I have a whole little podcast studio in the corner of my room, and she puts up with that.
But you're right.
Yeah,
Like if you anytime want to come and film here or do whatever you need to do, I mean,
I
it's
might think
just me.
about it.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, Mario and I we've used it maybe 4 or 5 times a week. Other than that, I'm on location filming, and he works too. Yeah, and so he does his radio station here 2 times a week, and then I'm here every other time. It stores all my equipment, and
yeah.
it so those other times, like feel free
It's that.
because this is a good location and it's exclusive because like
And
nobody
I'm not
knows
far.
it's
I'm
here.
not far from here either.
Good,
So
good. But I'm telling you right now,
yeah,
I just got it on podcast here. You can use it.
but still, I got it. I mean, I got my proof. Babe, remember you said?
Nah, nah,
Nah,
nah. I'm excited. I want to collab with more people before I move.
That's where I'm at too. It's just you also like I said, time's a commodity. You
Yeah.
can't so you do have to be somewhat selective with what you work on. Like I've
Yeah, but your time
because
is
I don't like
precious
yeah
and valuable and priceless, and so
yeah,
is mine.
and
So if
so is
you're gonna
yours.
put
Yeah,
your time in, and I'm gonna put my time in
yeah,
to match yours, regardless.
absolutely. Those are the people
And
you want to collab with. Yeah,
right, that's exactly because
they get
we
it.
know it's priceless. Like
Yeah,
but the outcome is a significant. So yes, thank you so much for coming and
my
doing this
pleasure.
with me. We'll
This was
probably do
fun.
a follow up in about a couple weeks because everything changes for everybody and
Sure.
everybody has stuff coming up. And so I'm going to start doing this more of a series on my guests.
Okay.
So my podcast is a little different.
I'd love to stop in sometime.
All right. Hashtag you felt me because you felt. Hey.